What's up, guys? So today I'm going to show you a quick hip flexor stretch, which is these muscles right in the front of your leg. Super quick, super easy, and it's an exercise, or it's a stretch that a lot of people probably already know how to do, but might not be doing it exactly correct. So I'm going to show you kind of a little modification on the way that you should be doing it versus the way that a lot of people do it. So for this one, it's going to be a half kneeling stance. So what you're gonna do is the leg that you wanna stretch, which I'm gonna be doing my right leg, is gonna be in the back, and then your other leg is gonna be in front, just like this. And so what a lot of people do is when they stretch their hip flexors and do this stretch, they kind of lean into it, they arch their back, they kind of do this type of motion. So this isn't the most ideal motion that we want. We're getting a lot of hyperextension in the back. We're kind of hitting the hip flexor, but there's a more productive way to do it. And to do that productive way, all you have to do is do something we call a posterior pelvic tilt. And all that involves is you want to be squeezing your glutes so your pelvis moves forward, just like that. And as you can see, going from that, squeezing my glutes, my back straightens out, and then holding those glutes tight, you're just going to lean into that stretch. And right there, I can feel it for myself, right in the front of the leg, down there. And you're just gonna hold this for about 30 seconds. And then you'll relax out of it. And then when you do it again, tighten your glutes first, lean into it. And that's where I about feel it, right in the same spot. And then you'll relax. So this is the way that you should be doing the hip flexor stretch, guys. If you've been doing it and you've seen this already, but you've been doing it kind of like this, and just kind of letting your body go as far as possible, and your back's all crooked and cranked and in hyperextension. This isn't a position that you want over time. It might cause some problems. So just to fix that, literally just squeeze your glutes and then lean into it, and then you should still be feeling that stretch. And you shouldn't actually go as far into it if you're doing it correctly, because squeezing those glutes isn't going to allow you to go as far forward. And then you can't really see my knee in the video, but if you're doing this on a floor or carpet, you can put a towel under your knee so you don't jack up your knee too, as you're kind of putting pressure on that. So what's the reason why, if we squeeze our butt, that we're going to get a better stretch from this? So I'm going to use this TheraBand as an example to kind of show or represent our hip flexor muscles. So pretend these are our hip flexor muscles. So they attach pretty much in two areas: your ASIS, which is part of your pelvis, which is, you can feel it on yourself. It's this bony prominence that kind of sticks out right here. And then our AIIS, which is like right under it. So pretending these are our muscles that attach over here, which would be the origin, and then the insertion, which would be down below the knee. So if we are to squeeze our butt and we get in that posterior pelvic tilt that I was talking about, that ASIS, that bony prominence, when you squeeze your butt, that bony prominence, it's going to go up a little towards your body. So it's going to start here, I squeeze my butt, and it travels up a little. When we do that, those muscles that attach right here, your hip flexors, they're going to be put on stretch like that. Versus if we're in that position before, where we're kind of like this, extending our back. Not only is it bad for our back to do that over time, but we're in something called an anterior pelvic tilt versus a posterior pelvic tilt. So that looks like this, where your pelvis is going back instead of going forward like that. So when your pelvis goes back like that, that ASIS, same thing, instead of going up and getting a better stretch on that muscle, that insertion point is going to go down. So when it goes down, instead of getting a stretch like that, the muscle is actually shortening, because the origin and the insertion, where the muscles are, they're getting closer together instead of being put on stretch. So that's why we want to do that posterior pelvic tilt and squeeze our butt, because we're getting a better distance, you can say, from that origin and insertion point, and getting that better stretch on that muscle, versus if we were doing an anterior pelvic tilt kind of like that, that muscle will be in a shortened position and you wouldn't be getting as good of a stretch. So it's really good to know kind of the little tidbits and modifications you can make to your stretches and exercises, but it's even better to know kind of why and what's happening with those muscles. Hope that helps, guys. It's just a quick little fix that I see people do this stretch a lot in the gym or in general, and a lot of people kind of do it the way that is more harmful to your body. So all these little quick fixes matter. So if there's anything else you guys want to see, comment below or send me a message on YouTube or add me on Facebook at Tyler Slim. And yeah, and I'll talk to you guys later.